Leviticus Chapter 11. And the Lord spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying to them, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which you shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parts the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and chews the cud among the beasts, that you shall eat. Nevertheless, these shall you not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because it chews the cud, but divides not the hoof. It is unclean for you. And the coney, because it chews the cud, but divides not the hoof, it is unclean for you. And the hare, because it chews the cud, but divides not the hoof, it is unclean to you. And the swine, though it divides the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet it chews not the cud, it is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall you not eat, and their carcass shall you not touch. They are unclean to you. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever has fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall you eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination to you. They shall be even an abomination to you. You shall not eat of their flesh, but you shall have their carcasses an abomination. Whatsoever has no fins nor scales in the waters shall be an abomination to you. And these are they which you shall have an abomination among the fowls, they shall not be eaten. They are an abomination, the eagle, and the ossifrage, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after its kind, every raven after its kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after its kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gyre eagle, and the stork, and heron after its kind, and the lapwing, and the bat. All fowls that creep upon all four shall be an abomination to you. Yet these may you eat of every flying, creeping thing that goes upon all four which have legs above their feet, to leap with upon the earth. Even these of them you may eat: the locust after its kind, the bald locust after its kind, the beetle after its kind, the grasshopper after its kind, but all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination to you. And for these you shall be unclean. Whosoever touches the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. And whosoever bears anything of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. The carcasses of every beast which divides the hoof and is not cloven-footed, nor chews the cud, are unclean to you. Every one that touches them shall be unclean, and whatsoever goes upon its paws among all manner of beasts that go on all four, those are unclean to you. Whoso touches their carcass shall be unclean until the evening, and he that bears the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. They are unclean to you. These also shall be unclean to you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth: the weasel, and the mouse, and the tortoise after its kind, and the ferret, and the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever does touch them when they be dead shall be unclean until the evening. And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, does fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the evening, so it shall be cleansed. And every earthen vessel, wherein any of them falls, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and you shall break it. Of all meat which they be eaten, that on which such water comes shall be unclean, and all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. And everything whereupon any part of the carcass falls shall be unclean, whether it be oven or ranges for pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean and shall be unclean to you. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit wherein there is plenty of water shall be clean, but that which touches their carcass shall be unclean. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed, which is to be sown, it shall be clean. But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall therein, it shall be unclean to you. And if any beast of which you may eat die, he that touches the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the evening. And he that eats of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. He also that bears the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. And every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goes upon the belly, and whatsoever goes upon all four, or whatsoever has more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them you shall not eat, for they are an abomination. You shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creeps, neither shall you make yourselves unclean with them, that you should be defiled thereby. For I am the Lord your God. You shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and you shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall you defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. For I am the Lord that brings you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God. You shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moves in the waters, and of every creature that creeps upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten.